What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to DD2 and some Prime Incursion Day. We are here on the Spectral Assault Incursion in Prime number 5, and we are about to try it out for the first time and hopefully, see what Hypershard we get. So let's go ahead and get things started here. I think most folks are familiar with this incursion. You've got to match all of your cleansing swords underneath. There's 4 of them to the color of the Spectral Knight that's coming out. That will allow you to go up and cleanse the individual knight. Now, I will put together a tips and tricks video on this one. If anyone is interested, just let me know down in the comments below. But let's go ahead and try it out and see what we can get done here. Now, I am going to go with just a 1 amp warrior type of build where stacking up that petrify, and then I'm going to go with 2 flame auras in each area. Now, this map doesn't have much DU at 800, but on the same note, it's only got 3 lanes if you spawn camp it. So if you treat this as a spawn camp, or if you treat it as a turtle, it's only going to have 3 lanes, and that gives you 250 plus DU per lane, which is just absolutely enormous. See, I've actually got more DU to do something else here. I'm not really sure what I want to do. I think I'm going to just go 1 more flame aura right in the front for a little additional spawn camp there. Now let's do the same thing on every lane and then see what we've got left. I normally like to build this map with 2 sky guards. I do think going with the 3 auras, I'm going to only use 1 sky guard. We're going to have to see how that plays out here. See, let's get our reflect beam up. Looking snazzy. And still just an absolute ton of DU left. Now, like I said, it's not much as far as only 800 DU for the map, but if you look at the amount of lanes, it's actually a pretty darn generous amount, considering we've only got the 3 lanes. So, yeah, even after stacking everything, we've still got 130 left. Oops, wrong hero. Let's see, get the reflect in there. That gives me another 80, so we've got an additional 30. I think what I'll do is just go with 1 Skyguard tower in the middle to cover all the lanes, as the flyers are going to have to go through all of those flame auras before it makes it up here. And then I am going to jack that bad boy all the way up, since we've just got just the 1. Now, as we look, we've got bosses coming out right at wave 1. It looks like we've got a kobold there. It just seems kind of strange to have it in its own lane as a boss. We're gonna have to check that out. What do we have over here? Same thing. And then an ogre over on this side. So we know we've got an ogre coming out first thing. Let's just go ahead and fire it up and see how it goes here. Now, let's see. The enemies are 52,036 enemy level, which is going to put them just under floor 300 difficulty. So, definitely some healthy mobs. I'm excited to get that Hypershard and see what we get here. Okay, here's our first knight. Now, I'm not really sure. I'm going to go ahead and risk it. In the old incursion, you could pretty much ignore the knight on the first wave, on the first several waves, as by the time the knight would make it up top, as they do move pretty slow, by the time the knight would make it all the way up top, all the enemies would be dead. So, I'm just going to go ahead and ignore this first knight and assume it's going to be like it was in the older incursion. It might get... Actually, it would be good to see how much damage it's doing to the core anyway. Just to see what we can withstand. The assassins are no joke. It doesn't look like the knight's going to make it into core range, though. Actually, we've got a stuck mob. A couple of stuck mobs, so it just might. See, we got... Nope, didn't make it. So I'm not really sure what the damage was doing. Now, as you see here, we've got a purple knight. Now, obviously, to cleanse the purple knight, we would have had to switch all of our cleansing swords over to purple, And you can guess in advance and get that done. Now, obviously there's only 3 colors, so you've got a 33% chance of being right. You can guess up front and get the buff, and then that will take care of the first night for you. But we're going to go ahead and spend all of our DU here. And I think I'm just going to dump it all into the Flame Aura, since we got with the Flame Aura triple stack going on here. We'll hit the Reflect Beam as well, though. Let's see, still a ton left. Wow. In fact, let's just go ahead and go 2 ups into each one of these Reflect Beams. Did I get this lane already? Yeah, I already got that lane. Wow. Alright, we'll go 2 ups there as well. And we'll just throw it in. Now, the rest of this, it doesn't even... it doesn't really matter where the mana is going to go, I think, as long as I throw the mana into upgrading some stuff. As you see, I did bring along a Sparkle Party kitty cat, so I've got Sparkle Party to help me out with those assassins. As floor 300-ish difficulty, these assassins are going to be hitting very, very hard. So far, so good, though. And we've got another Purple Knight, so we're good there. We can just run down and grab our purple buff. And go ahead and just get it cleansed. Now, nothing special needs to be done. You just have to run over the knights once you get that particular buff. Ogre getting wrecked. See you, Mr. Ogre. I'm getting wrecked too. I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm not really sure where it's all coming from, to be honest. Now, it looks like we only had 1 knight that wave, which I'm not really sure. In the older Incursion, they scaled up. Or no, there's another one. Okay. It's just the spawn camp killed them all so fast. These assassins are no joke, that's for sure. They are hitting like an absolute truck. Just need to get these stuck mobs, though, and it'll be GG. And there we go. So, Red Knight that time. Is it going to despawn? Yeah, there it is. Alright, now let's throw a few more upgrades around. Now, I don't even care where it goes. I'm just going to kind of spam it. So, just throw a little bit of mana into each lane and call it good. I think we're going to be in good shape. This is really a super fun map. I'm really glad that they got it into the whole Prime Incursion setup, as it is just an absolute blast to play. This one is fun for sure. Now, I didn't mention it yet, but y'all will have to forgive me a little here. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so the voice is moderately shot. Let's go ahead and cycle all of these over to a color and see if we get lucky there. These assassins hit hard. Alright, we didn't get lucky. We got purple. Really, the assassins are what could cause the problem for you, I believe. Alright, I've got the purple debuff now, so just run right over it. Piece of cake. Obviously, if the assassins kill you at an improper time. We got green up next, and 140 million health zapper. I don't even need to cleanse this one, but I'm doing it just for lulz here. So certainly didn't need to cleanse that one. Looks like our zapper is stuck. I'm going to ignore purple. Now, the old strategy, what we used to do, if you're spawn camping this map, is you would completely ignore all of the Spectral Knights in the initial waves, like all the way up to like wave 3. And then in the later waves, you'd cleanse like the first 2 knights that came out and then ignore the rest. Now, I'm not sure if that strategy is still going to work, but we will find out soon enough. Wave 4 incoming here. This is another good thing about it is this is a relatively quick map. It's got super fast build time, which, you know, obviously, if you spend 10 minutes building the map, that all goes directly to your time invested into that map. So you can build this one out quick, which makes it pretty darn quick to get done, really. Right, we got lucky with the purple. So let's get this first one cleansed. The assassins are almost non-stop, it feels like. Having a hard time even getting healed up. In between. Maybe we'll get lucky and get another purple one. Nope, we get red. So, gotta change all these guys over to red. Actually didn't even need to cleanse this one either. So it actually does look like the mobs are coming out fast enough and the knights are moving slow enough where I'm not sure if you could 100% ignore the knights, but it certainly looks like you can at least ignore all but maybe the first 1 or 2. Feels like if you cleanse the first one, up until wave 4 anyway, each wave you'll have plenty of time to get the map completed without really worrying too much about the knights at all. And that was one of the, like I said, that was one of the troubles that this incursion originally had, is that's the whole mechanic of this particular map, and the mechanic is too forgiving. The knights have too far of a way to travel before they start doing any damage to the core for anyone really to worry about them at all. Let's see, let's cycle them over to a color for our first one here for wave 5. I'll cleanse like the first 2 in wave 5. Now we're going to have to see how many come out. There hasn't been many coming out. So not many Spectral Knights equals, you know, not much of an issue. Red, we got red as the first one. Uh-oh. Okay, I didn't. Thought I used my kitty cat and it didn't work. Oh! Now, luckily, those are all on red, so all I'm going to have to do is jump down below and re-pick up the red buff, and I'll be good to go. So just pick the buff back up, and we're set for cleansing. Now, we've got that purple one just popped out. I tell you, I'm pretty tempted to ignore him. In fact, I think I'm going to. Just completely ignore all but the first knight. And might actually even be able to ignore the first one, to be honest. The mobs are coming out pretty quick, so with the mobs burning fast, there's just no cause for alarm with those Spectral Knights at all. I was curious to see how much damage they would do to the core, but it doesn't look like anything's going to make it up that far in this wave either. So the Spectral Knights are kind of, you can definitely ignore them. Maybe cleanse the first one just out of good measure. And automation, there we go. So automation is our hyper shard for prime number 5. So we've only got 2 weeks left, y'all. We got 2 weeks, 2 more maps. At the end of it, we're going to get 2 hyper shards. So we'll get Vicious and Mass Destruction at the same time. So there is an automation for anyone who is missing that 10 of 10 tenacity. I'll probably end up putting together a video on some of the uses of automation for those that are unaware as well. But that will do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. That was a look at my very first attempt at the Spectral Assault in prime number 5. So thank you all a ton, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.